Just a quick heads up, this one gets very dark at the start, but it gets really lighthearted near the end. Kind of still a lot of murder. Check the trigger warnings. However, enjoy. James Potter, Remus Lupin, Sirius Black, Peter Pettigrew, Pause for Breath, and the Prisoner of Azkaban by gonzoclock. Chapter 10. Padfoot huffs, then stands up and circles a couple more times, as if that'll make the hard floor any less cold or dirty. It's not like he can complain, not really. The shrieking shack is more comfortable than Azkaban in any case. Hopefully he can catch this rat sooner rather than later. After that, he can stop bothering with all this and just die. He can hardly wait. Padfoot huffs again and stands up again. He shakes off. There's no way he's getting sleep tonight. Maybe next time he ineffectively breaks into Hogwarts, he can snag a rug or something on the way out. Better yet, maybe next time he ineffectively breaks into Hogwarts, Moony will see him and they can figure this out together. Or he'll kill Padfoot, which is also fine. It's not like Sirius wouldn't deserve it. Padfoot shakes off again. Tonight's really not a good night. Normally, he has a much harder time of spiraling as Padfoot. Must have something to do with the fact that he's going utterly insane. That sort of thing weighs on a dog. The full moon was a couple nights ago, and Padfoot could have sworn that he'd heard. No, impossible. For one, Moony would never run, not by himself. For another, he'd never run with another dog. Padfoot has undoubtedly ruined dogs forever for Remus. At least, that's what he's telling himself to keep himself from sinking into a pit of despair he'll never be able to crawl out of. A different dog? Ugh, no. Remus has taste. Padfoot is broken from his reverie as he hears the sound of meowing and scratching at the door. Padfoot wags his tail once, twice, then walks over to the door and pushes it open to let the cat inside. It's dark, so Padfoot doesn't see him immediately, which gives the rat the chance to leap from where he'd been perched on top of the cat and make a run for the door. Padfoot is too quick for him, though. He's on top of the rat in a second, who lets out an angry squeak. Padfoot has Wormy under one paw, which looks giant in comparison. It's been a long time. Wormy's a lot smaller than Padfoot remembers. Padfoot snarls, a growl rumbling through his chest. Wormy struggles for a second and falls still. Then, Wormy transforms. He's still trapped under Padfoot, but he's now not struggling. He's just lying there, staring at Padfoot with narrowed eyes. Gonna kill me again, old man? Padfoot blinks, then transforms and throws himself back. What the hell? Pete, 15-year-old Pete, sits up, looking around the shack. Sirius stares. They really hadn't thought to look for you here. It's like they don't want to catch you. They brought some dementors, Sirius says, feeling incredibly lost. Pete, he's so young. Why is he so young? Clambers to his feet, shaking his head. I know, we ran into one a couple nights ago. Moony made quick work of it, though. Not a fun way to find out that dementors don't bother werewolves, but it could have been worse. Anyways, can I go? Unless you really are going to kill me again, which I personally am not advocating for. I didn't, Sirius says. You. Okay, thank God, Pete says, relaxing. I thought that didn't make any sense. Sirius, murderer? No way. Sirius, James's murderer? Hell has to have frozen over. Now, me on the other hand. What is happening? Sirius says, his own voice rising in his ears. Nope, this is good, really good, Pete says, pacing around. Might be a little hysterical, but Sirius has bigger things he's worried about. The kid turns to look at Sirius, who feels like he's seconds away from throwing up. He really has gone completely and irrevocably insane. Has he even left Azkaban? Is this what happens when you get the Dementor's kiss? The kid meets his eyes, raising an eyebrow. You alright, old man? What is happening? Sirius asks again. Keep up, Peter says, glaring. This, of all things, is what pulls Sirius out of his spiral. Peter has never snapped like that. He'd always been nothing but nice, which, in retrospect, is really very disturbing. For Pete to have actually sounded like that, like he's annoyed, either Sirius's hallucination is out of character, unlikely, Sirius's hallucinations are always very true to life, well, this kid is really freaking out. Sirius leaps to his feet, which has Peter taking a step back. Why shouldn't I kill you? Sirius asks, eyes narrowed. Peter laughs, a bit nervous. For one, I'm 15, and quite frankly, I don't think you have it in you to kill a kid. You don't know me, Sirius cuts in, even though it's not like Pete's wrong. Peter raises an eyebrow. I know the you from 18 years ago, he says, and old man Lupin hasn't changed that much. And you haven't killed me yet. Sirius doesn't move, and the kid sighs. For another, he says, then gets a glimpse of amusement in his eyes. James would never forgive you. Sirius sits down heavily, breathing fast. He hardly hears Peter's delighted laugh over the ringing in his ears. James, Sirius whispers. You didn't think I was the only one who came back, did you? I don't... The map, Peter says. Sirius's head snaps up. Blood magic? Peter laughs again, a bit strained. I don't remember the scenario being in the warnings Lily gave us, do you? Fuck, Sirius says. So, me, huh? Boy, I'd like to have a conversation with him. Do you have any idea where he's hiding at? Sirius opens his mouth, then closes it. Then he shrugs. Might as well tell the kid. Sirius's plans have just all gone completely to shit. He's with the Weasley boy, the youngest. Peter's nose wrinkles. Oh, he says. Yeah, Sirius agrees. Could I not have at least gone for a richer family? The Malfoy, maybe? Please tell me that's not what you're taking away from this, Sirius says, rubbing his temple with shaking hands. Peter looks back at him, confused. What should I be taking away? Sirius looks up at the ceiling. I don't know. Maybe that hiding as a family pet for 12 years is wrong? Peter purses his lips. Then he shrugs. That's too specific of a scenario. It wouldn't have occurred to me that it's wrong. If it works, it works. No one is getting hurt, right? Sirius stares at the kid, stomach flip-flopping. He really can't kill a kid. The thing is, it's sort of sounding like he should kill this kid. Peter meets his eyes, then winces. Whoops, said too much there. Geez, this is a trip, huh? No wonder Sirius, was so bothered when he heard about you. Sirius flinches. Fuck. It's a good thing 15-year-old him came back with the other three, or he'd have killed himself for sure. God damn it. It is a bit much, isn't it? Pete continues, to learn that you grew up to betray the only people who ever really knew or cared about you. James knew, that I'm a psychopath. I mean, he knew the whole time. I'd never hurt him. Why did I hurt him? What happened? Sirius blinks, reeling. Psychopath? Wait, and he knew? Since the very beginning. Did a ton of research, too, Peter says, looking completely unbothered. He's the one who sat me down and told me what it was, why I think differently from other people, why I don't have a built-in moral compass like everyone else. Oh, Sirius says, sitting back. Why'd he make you the secret keeper then? Peter cocks his head. What? That's why everyone thought it was me. James and Lily went under the Fidelius and were going to make me the secret keeper. I thought it would be too obvious, so I insisted they change it to you in secret. Why'd James agree if he knew you? Peter looks at him like he just asked an incredibly stupid question. Because it's James? Sirius nods, feeling numb. If it helps, Peter continues, tone sounding light as ever, when I get my hands on Old Man Remy, I'm going to wring his fucking neck. Put him out of his misery, since apparently he's gone completely insane. Sirius opens his mouth to protest, then closes it again. He's not sure he can argue that Peter has any less of a claim to the rat's life than he does, assuming, of course, that Peter isn't lying to him. How do I know you're not? Sirius starts. Peter cocks his head and presses his lip. Lying? You don't, he decides, smiling sweetly. The same smile that had gotten them out of so much trouble at school. The same smile that Peter had given Sirius before he'd blown up that street and Sirius's whole life. Sorry. Hey, can I go? I have a rat to kill. Sirius rubs his temples again, feeling suddenly very tired of existence. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still a little lost. Yeah, I can see that, Peter says. Oh, see ya. With that, he transforms into baby Wormy, which explains the size difference, and dashes off, the cat following behind. Sirius blinks stupidly for a second, then he goes Padfoot and tears after him. Dogs are much faster than rats. Unfortunately, Padfoot isn't exactly in top shape, and Wormy decides to hitch a ride on the cat, and that cat can definitely outrun Padfoot. Padfoot slows to a stop, panting as he watches the orange blur get further and further away. Then he turns around and limps back into the shack. He flops to the ground, breathing hard. He needs to think. Figure out what to do. Move, maybe, just in case that kid decides to spill where Sirius is staying. Instead, he falls asleep, only to wake up the next morning to someone gently patting his head. Padfoot jumps up and back, growl rumbling in his chest. "Whoa, sorry, didn't mean to freak you out," says the 15-year-old voice of someone Padfoot had thought he'd never see again. Padfoot catapults himself into the kid, tail wagging and barking excitedly. He knocks James over, but can't bring himself to care. James laughs delightedly, scratching Padfoot's ears and headed back. Padfoot barks again, then looks at the kid's face and hands. Yeah, good to see you too. Shh, hey, Padfoot. Shh, they're gonna hear you from the castle. What are you looking at? Yeah, that's gross. Believe me now? Peter says dryly. Padfoot lets out another woof. Hell yeah, he believed him. Hell yeah. I always believed you, James says, smiling widely down at Padfoot. Easiest thing in the world to believe. Fucked up old man Wormy though? Right? I'm sorry, Pete. It's alright, Pete shrugs. Or it will be when I kill him. James pushes Padfoot back and goes to stand up again. He looks concerned. Pete, don't worry about it, Peter says lightly. Let's worry about that instead, he points at Padfoot, who can't seem to stop wagging his tail. Oh, that's easy, James says, waving a hand dismissively. He just needs a bath and a trim and a good meal, and we'll be golden. What? Peter asks. Padfoot feels as confused as Peter sounds. Maybe if he transformed, he'd be able to make more sense of things. The problem with that is Padfoot doesn't think he can transform without having an absolutely colossal mental breakdown. James nods, satisfied, and pats Padfoot on the head. Yep, we'll call you, Sniffles. Very familiar. Okay, that was fun. It's just silly. A little dark at the start, but, it's just silly. Hope you enjoyed, but bye!